Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Here's Coruscant Underworld Police Chief APGAINS. So we have some obviously changingness of the guard in terms of what's important, which, when, where, why, and how in Galaxy of Heroes. And kind of like a perfect timing for me, I'm very happy, but also for a lot of you guys out there who've kind of been paying attention to the shifting of the early, mid, late game meta. It's gotten to the point where there is just a team that apparently it's just that important now. It was a good team before, but now just with everything going on, it's become infinitely more important. So let's talk about the different facets of the game. There's different metas at different parts of the game. You guys all know, but we'll go over it quickly. Early game, you want as many teams. Mid game, you want ships. End game, that's just money, right? If you have a good enough job and you're willing to spend a lot of that money on the game, you're good. But as far as the different game modes have different metas. Territory War, you have to apply certain Territory War Omicrons that aren't appealing to a lot of people. GAC, a lot of GAC-focused stuff. You want to be efficient because your opponents are much more GP than you, so you have to do different things. You got to farm ships, yada, yada, yada. Now, as the game kind of transitions a lot into that GAC PvE aspect, with the new territory battle out, and actually Phase 1 is looking like, from what I've seen from people in guilds much lower than mine, because obviously 400 million is a relatively high guild size. I've done some digging with some players, some people on the Discord. Come join if you want to hang out. In some like 250, 260-ish million guilds, so lower end guilds, but definitely still able to play. Since the rewards are so much better for this TB versus other TBs, and there are retroactive ways to do WOT, to do CAM now, it makes sense for people to go for TB3. And overwhelmingly, the team of the dark side that happens to take off the most. These two are kind of easy. Most light side teams are really good, and mixed teams are also very good. But anyone who's been watching any gameplay knows that if you don't have Relic 6, Relic 7, Relic 8, Relic 9 out the ass, you're a normal human being, you're not a whale. Most people have realized that one of the most efficient teams in this new TB for that dark side node to get extra stars, to get extra Get 3. Save that Get 3, by the way. I refuse to believe that the current Get 3 rewards are going to be it. There's going to be something important that you're going to want to have there, so at least try to build up that cash. And if you're supposed to go over, you can obviously pick up some WOT shards, CAM shards, whatever, cat shards, whatever it may be. But this team, somehow with a lot of the modifiers in the earlier Phase 1, Phase 2 of Darkside TB3, is just OP, even without Starkiller, right? Like, this is a team that's actually next on my list of teams to do, so it's going to be a good time for me as we start to figure out, how this new TB works. It's going to be a perfect time for me to pick this team up after I'm finishing up Afra. But even without Starkiller, EP Mara, just the synergy there, like if you do this and instead of the Starkiller Rex, you put in full Empire, fucking Tarkin or Royal Guard, or just anything that involves debuffs, potency, stuns, staggers, stuff like that, dazes. This team kind of just prevents the dark side TB teams from doing anything. And this is going to probably be a very efficient way. And hold your horses, I know a fucking requirement of Relic 5 across the board is not efficient. Like, my gas team, for God's sake, like how many teams do I realistically, I have a TB3. These are at 6 million GP almost. These are the teams that I have prepared at full R5. A GL team, well, no shit. Another GL team, well, no shit. Sith Empire, I don't have full Sith Empire because I'll have Talon in there eventually. But I have Darth Vader in there. Darth Vader is useless in PvE game modes mostly. CLS, but that's a profundity requirement. And then profundity requirements, because they're profundity requirements. Like, this TB definitely hits people where they're least expecting it. And knowing that this team is solid, knowing that this team is now accelerated rate, and has current active daily, monthly rewards going into requirements, and the gear changes just came out, this is a very, very big team that a lot of you guys are going to have to pick up and add to the roster, right? I killed it in light side and a little bit of, well, mostly just light side. I killed it in light side. I'm doing A+ work, right? I'm a lower GP player in my guild. I think I might be down near the bottom of total GP, so not the best because I don't have R5s. I have a lot of R3s, R4s, R2s for a lot of my teams, but killed it in light side. If you're like me and you need to pick up a couple extra points in dark side, and don't even get me started about how stupid the point system is. Like, You need what do you need? You need well, don't even get me started on 1.2 billion, where the rewards are okay. You can get up to $1 million in that one, but like you need what 248 million for 3 different phases, and you only get 200,000 for doing both. It's wild. It's wacky. I'm not even gonna talk too much about it, but a lot of people are gonna need to pick up some extra stars in Darkside TB, and this team is just going to be one of the better teams. They're helping you pick that up. If you do great in dark side and you struggle in light side, I might recommend CLS. That team works really well. It's more of CLS is more, as far as phase 1, is more of like a Corellia team, because some of the missions here, actually I think all the missions here have the world modifier of that days. So that's more of a Corellia. It's more of a mixed tier because you don't have to deal with that days. As far as light side is concerned, Galactic Republic works decently well. I've tried different teams. I've tried some Padme teams. I've tried some Gas teams. Gas he's acceptable. If you have a GL, it's better, but a lot of you guys probably don't. So I would really focus something that's easy. Light side teams, it's kind of like if you can survive Padme, here it's like CLS and a lot of mixed match teams work really well, and here it's you kind of just need control. Like I said, the Sith team works, but it doesn't work amazingly well because there's not a ton of control. There's fear, there's doubt, and there's staggers and stuff like that. But that's where the control aspect of that EP Mara Jade, add Star Killer if you got it, yada yada yada. The control aspects really work here, and if you can get 8, 9, 10 stars over the course of the 6 days, I mean, the rewards they're acceptable, right? How do I see rewards? It just doesn't want me to see rewards, I guess. I have to watch this. Go back. Oh my god, APGAINS are so smart. Enter. Rewards. Here we go. So like if you can get into this range as like a 250 million GP guild after 6 days, I mean, yeah, these are acceptable, but the get 3, like, it's going to be useful for something. I'm sure of it, guys. I promise. I know everyone's like, oh, APGAINS, you're just an idiot. The rewards are terrible, and they're always going to be terrible. I really hope that something happens. Maybe they do a TB switch. Something's going to be useful with this get 3, and you're going to want to have it. You're going to want to have it. It's going to be Cal Kestis. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Cal freaky deaky Kestis. Once the Jedi Survivor game comes out, they're going to be like, oh my god, Cal Kestis, you can get 5 stars through Legendary event that's going to have Relic 10 requirements, but you need get 3 to 7 star him, baby. He's going to be exactly like Gas. He's going to suck unless he's Relic 7. Oh, what does this game come to, guys? All right, I'm going to get out of here. I have shit to do. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.